What's up, everyone? This is Waning Moonlight, and in my last video, I completed Dark Souls 2 only using wind magic. And I said in the video, if just a few people subscribe, I'll go ahead and do the DLCs and even try to do Ava without the Eye of the Priestess. I was expecting this to take like a week or so. It took 2 days. So thank you all to watch the video. Thank you all to subscribed. It really does mean a lot. And I appreciate you all. And if you're just here, haven't seen part one, it's the latest video on my channel. So you 100% have to watch it to understand what's going on in this one. It's a must see. 10 out of 10. Critically acclaimed. Best video ever. But either way, I already got all the DLC keys, and question, of course, is where do I start? With the main goal and, main challenge being trying to do all the, basically blind. I can't start there. Gotta make you wait for that. Gotta make you earn that. So with everything being said, I decided to go right down into Shulva and fight the poison dragon himself. Sin, the slumbering dragon. Alright, and now that we're getting started, head into Shulva first. Now, I haven't been to Shulva in a good while to fight the bosses. I've gone for the Flynn's Ring, and I wanted to try and grind out for another challenge run that if I end up doing, I'll talk about later. But I haven't gone and fought the bosses in a while. But I have been through the area, and I'm a big fan of it. The puzzles and everything makes me think of Zelda games, which are some of my favorites. So going through here was pretty fun. Only thing to really note that happened was Jester Thomas over here. My sword versus human enemy. I just had to do it to him. It was extremely funny, honestly. Always makes me laugh. But anyway, after about an hour and a half, I'm on my way to the first boss of this new challenge run. And I'm excited. I'm happy, if you saw the first video, then I first tried 80% of the bosses, the only exception being Vendrick, Dragon Rider Duo, and the Throne Watcher and Defender. So this should be easy. I mean, what's it gonna take? Maybe 2 to 4 tries because I haven't fought these guys in about 2 years for everyone but the Ivory King. So the DLC shouldn't be too hard. And that's what I thought my entire way down, which I didn't actually remember how to get down here. As I had just said, though I've been to Shulva, it was just for the Flynn's Ring, so I had never actually made it here in forever. So I got lost, but eventually I kind of made my way down. If you're going to tell me in the comments, oh, there's a better path if you do blah, 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 I'm going to say, I don't really care. This way's funnier. I enjoy my really stretched out jumps. And the one thing I did remember walking in is that she has a special animation to pull out her axe. So, okay. That's gonna give me a few free hits. Let me run in, and I forgot Flynn's Ring. Okay. With that back equipped, I got my damage up and took a whole lot more. One thing I didn't consider for quite a few fights is that I have the Ring of Steel protection on when I do have the Dark Defense Ring +1. So I didn't really think. In fact, at this point, I actually was full on panicking. I even went for a light swing, which happy it didn't actually connect, though it wouldn't matter either way because, well, I'm gonna die very soon. I know, spoilers, I'm sorry guys, but yeah, I mean, if you saw how things were going, it won't go well. But second try's the charm, right? Not really, no. So, what do? Well, third try's got to be it, right? I mean, I got my weapon, it's buffed, I got a good opening, and things are going quite all right. And I do know about the summoning where whatever she summons first, she cannot summon again. So I know to kind of take those guys out quick. And luckily with the sword's range, I was never actually worried about that. But one thing I did note, if you ever try this run, is don't actually take on the skeletons on their own. Because not only will you lose track of her and she will kill you, but you got so much range. You could hit them and her. But anyways, I went down and I actually respect to use Whispers of Despair, which not only did respecking increase my dark defense from like 12 to 120, but it also lowers her defense. Now, is it perfect? No, as you just saw. However, it was a lot better. And eventually, she made the foolish move of summoning Velstadt, who I am more than confident in with fighting against. So I did a good repair powder just to make sure I got enough in case I miss, and finished her off. It took me like 2 hours to actually take her down. Well, it's like maybe an hour and a half, but either way, Sin, he's got to be easier. I mean, I fought dragons in Elden Ring. I fought him in Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 3. I've beaten him before, and I don't remember him ever being that difficult. Now, I mean, I'm on New Game Plus 2 at this point, so surely that won't make too much of a difference, right? Let's see what you got. All right, that was a rough start, and that's a death with 2 hits. Okay, but learned a lesson. A lesson was learned. And a new lesson was taught to me this time. It's called He Hits Hard and in Big Areas. I don't know what was with it. Maybe I don't know if my brain was like locked into a boss having different timings, but I could like not dodge his swipes for like the first like 3 attempts, and he would just claw my stomach open each time. Luckily, I mean, I got a little bit better, but it took a little bit of time to actually see the windows of opportunity. And it also took about a fortune's worth of life gems. I'm basically putting that girl's grandkids through college and her grandchildren's grandchildren. For this entire video, I believe I went through it's got to be like 200 life gems. I was struggling. And luckily, with all those, I was able to learn the moves. And Sin, though he tried his best, he was knocked down by the power of wind, which means the first DLC is done. Go me, I'm so good at the video games. And next is Broom Tower, which I have not been here in the longest time, which really sucks. I like Fume Knight. He's one of my favorite characters, lore-wise, fight-wise. I got good memories against this guy, but I just have not come down here in a while. And, as I went through Broom Tower, I really remembered why. I like the Fume Knight, but I hate Fume Tower. Just a lot of enemies, a lot of things to fight. It's not much of a good time, Except for this, so this room right here brought me joy. I knew this sword's wind could blow up barrels. So, I mean, I just had to. Oh, that was beautiful. That's what I like to see. But then it's time for Fume Knight, and actually, unlike the Poison DLC, I got this man first try. Now, finding out openings was a little rough, a little tough. Especially when I accidentally double buffed the sword. I really thought, like, oh, that's it. Run's done. But actually, I locked it in. And luckily, that really cool sword, A Few Nights, is also his downfall. You see, with how long it takes to swing it, he's pretty open if you give him a good back shot. And another helpful thing that I knew would be in phase 2, but I'll cover that when we get to phase 2. Now, his small sword, a bit of an issue. Obviously, because it's fast. I mean, I know the footage is sped up, but if you fought Fume Knight, you know exactly what I mean. And the hitboxes, people often complain about. I didn't really have an issue with them, luckily. I mean, I know I've been hit by them. I'm not saying they don't exist, but this run, decently blessed. So the main strategy, if you haven't been seeing, bait out big swings and back shots. But I knew this would get so much better. He got a phase change and a poise break, and there it is. You see how slow that is? Even on like 2 times speed, that move is slow. So that's gonna be the main one, because even if I like somehow miss or anything, it'll be fine. I got enough time to heal, swing, recover some stamina, throw a birthday party, all within that move's iframe. And I mean, that's basically what I did. A lot of dodging around. I mean, I hit him a few more times. I mean, if I got the health, I could be hit back. But just dodge and weave. And there were a few close calls. That I remember that orb move actually used to give me so much trouble when I first was learning it, because instead of just trying to dodge it, I would roll into the orb to try and like dodge roll through it for whatever reason. I don't know. But either way, A Few Nights swing his sword, but I just kind of swing mine better. And one last back shot till he's finished off. And I get the crown of the old Iron King. And it's time. I promised you guys I would try Ava while they are invisible. I need you to hear the keyword try, because I put about 6-7 hours of attempts to trying to do this man while they're invisible. I mean, some attempts were longer, some attempts were shorter, but I tried on my best for this. I don't know what it was about Ava or what like her defenses are, but the damage she takes is less, I noticed, than like anybody else. I mean, not only A was hitting her, kind of a pain, but 292. And sometimes only 58. I do not know what causes damage difference. But let's say I hit her for 292 every time. Her health bar is about, I believe, 30,000, which means I would need to hit her over 100 times with this technique, which is quite a lot, especially with a weapon that has limited kind of resources. And that's not even counting the 58s, but that's also not counting the times where I hit her also with the blade, which puts it up to about, I think, because it doesn't do the damage at once, it does the wind, and then it tells you the blade, so I believe the sword puts it up to 800. But either way, that would be crazy. And I tried my best, because I said I would. I tried it for you guys, but I just could not do it. But just because I grabbed the Eye of the Priestess, don't think that means it made it any easier either. Because this was terrible. This fight did me extremely dirty. Just because I could see her. turns out, this sword is slow. I mean, are you surprised that something called like a great curved sword or a great sword curved sword's like slow? Yeah. So in between her bites and her slashes, I almost had no time to actually even swing. I did, even when she did, I don't know what to call that move, icicle barrage. That's what I'm gonna call it. It would still be pretty bad. But the more attempts I did, the main thing I learned was that I kind of didn't want to do it. Um, no, I'm just kidding. The main thing I learned actually is her jump attacks leave her really open for what, and it's just enough to hit her with. Even with being able to see her, that took me like 2 hours. Um, so 10 out of 10. I do not recommend using this weapon in the DLC. Just do something better. You have a life. You have earned it. Do not waste it fighting Ava with this sword. But I go, and I get my boys, the Lois Knights, all ready and ready. Because it's time to fight the Iron King, the Burnt Ivory King. Iron King. We're fighting a good boss here. First two attempts, I actually died like really quickly. So we're not gonna talk about those. Instead, we're talking about attempt number 3, the one that matters, and the first time where the Burnt Ivory King actually even comes out. Now, what surprised me was hitting them with this sword did not squash them or send them flying. It just stunned them, which one shot the stun. Okay, that's pretty good. But it would have been nice. But it took some time. Just it took some time and a lot of cardio. I ran around a whole lot for this entire fight. Okay, I was just so nervous. I took so long with Ava. I had to be this thing called patient, whatever that means. I don't know the word. And it wasn't as fun. And it was really weird hitboxes sometimes. Like I swear, like I would get like a clean hit and it would only count like the wind. I don't know. And they're jumping backwards also definitely didn't help. And I was also really nervous about using all of my Estus. So I actually even tried some ranged attacks a little bit, not many, because I didn't find them fun. But you just gotta get the work done. Pyromancers were the biggest pain. I'm sure most of you know that. For their ranged with Fire Snake. But when they were all done, I had to collect a few items and then get ready for the king. Now, the Burnt Ivory King is one of my favorite bosses in, well, Dark Souls history. I fought him a lot, enjoy his OST, and missed both of my Whispers of Despair, I think. I'm like, I don't have any way to test it. But like, I just don't think I hit him. So, off to a great start. And already had to heal a whole bunch too. But oh my gosh, it's that damage. Great. You'll love to see it. So things were going pretty alright. Even got a stagger. But all of his back hops were kind of getting annoying. And then he buffed up, which obviously is an issue. Because that means not only more damage, but that grab move, which I'm terrible at dodging at. And I healed up, and I saw my boy over here, my fellow Lois Knight, was putting in a lot of damage, which had me nervous. In my no rolling video, which I made a few months ago, the Lois Knight actually finished off the Ivory King, and I was so upset because that means I didn't get to do it. But I locked it in this time, stealing the kill from the Lois Knight, and there we go. All 3 DLCs built beat and cheese with wind magic. And I mean, that's really it. If you watched the first video and came here to see how it went, I appreciate you for watching this. It may not be what you expected with the failure of Ava, but I still hope it was an entertaining video. That's kind of my job. And I do appreciate everyone who has subscribed. That video blew up for whatever reason. Typically my videos get about 300 to 500 views. That one in I think it's like 3 days already hit 1,000 views. So thank you all so much. And if you want to see more, make sure you subscribe. I try and post a lot of videos and make them as enjoyable as they can be. And with all that out and said, there is only one thing left to do. I head to Vendrick, put on his fit, I don't like the match, but guy recognized his game. He got that on. So I talked to him, and I didn't realize he actually had a lot to say. I didn't care to hear what he had to say. Like, bro, I just want my cool thing. I want my prize, and eventually, there we go. And that's going to do it all for the video. Have a good rest of your day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.